E3 2021 has come and gone. However, I am intrigued in the lack of a Nintendo Switch Pro announcement, if it's even real, that is. The Nintendo Switch has been around for, I think, 5 years, and for some reason Nintendo Switch fans are clamoring for a revision or a new console, despite it being almost half a generation old. To be frank, I'm not sure I believe the Nintendo Switch Pro is real, nor am I sure I want it to be real, considering the issues Nintendo has had with its previous hardware revisions. However, I'm not here today to talk about whether the Nintendo Switch Pro is real or not. I'm here to discuss a theory I have on why, if it is real, Nintendo has not announced it yet. The first portion of this theory is that there is a massive chip shortage, which means it's very hard to create the hardware needed for the Nintendo Switch Pro. I've been wanting to get my hands on one of the 30 series because my good old 1060 is beginning to show its age. However, I'm not going to pay $3,000 for something that is worth $500. I'm not an idiot, I'm not rich.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
And that also leads into the second part of my theory. It's already incredibly difficult to find a PS5 and a Xbox, whatever. I don't know. Microsoft has terrible naming conventions. The Nintendo Switch is the exception of the three. And that's because the Nintendo Switch has been on the market for years. There's a lot more to it than that, however, I'm not going to go into it in this video. I don't fully understand it myself. I'm kind of a smooth brain. Several outlets have claimed they know when Nintendo is going to announce the Nintendo Switch Pro. However, those dates have come and gone with nothing. Now, if my idiotic theory is correct, Nintendo actually does want to launch the Nintendo Switch Pro. However, they're not doing it due to supply and demand. Contrary to popular belief, Nintendo is not immune to product shortages. And considering at the rate things are right now, there will be a massive amount of demand for the Nintendo Switch Pro, as well as a shit ton of scalping going on. It's going to actually harm the Nintendo Switch's lifetime sales to launch a revision. Keep in mind there are many people who are waiting on a Nintendo Switch Pro reveal and not buying a Nintendo Switch already. Imagine if it did launch, and then they couldn't get the Nintendo Switch Pro because of scalping. They're just going to wait longer to get a Nintendo Switch Pro, but they're not going to be able to get that Nintendo Switch Pro because they're being scalped. The amount of times I've said Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Pro in this video is actually pissing me off. Now, this could be me just overthinking things, but I do believe that if there is a Nintendo Switch, they won't announce it this year. I think Nintendo is closely watching the chip market and waiting for prices to go down, therefore they can produce more hardware. This by no means will stop the scalping issues we're facing these days, however, it will slightly alleviate the problem. Do I believe Nintendo is doing this for the consumers? No, they are doing it so they can maximize profitability. This, however, is one of those cases where maximum profitability also does benefit the consumer. Of course, provided the Nintendo Switch Pro is actually real, which I'm not entirely sold on yet. Sub-chads, thanks for watching this video. I know my last couple of videos haven't been the greatest of quality, and that's because I somehow finagled myself into working 2 weeks straight without a weekend. Once things slow down in the job sector, I'll be able to create quality content again. Of course, that implies that at one time I created quality content.